Go.
You know?
No. Alt 98.7.
All in or all out.
LA's new alternative.
The Woody Show.
And we are into another new hour. Insensitivity training for a politically correct world on this Friday morning, everybody. Yeah, Friday morning. It is February the 9th, 2024. Hello. Welcome. We are The Woody Show. Woody, that's Ravy.
LFG.
LFG Rave.
Yes.
There's Greg Gorey.
Let's go to the weekend.
Let's go. I
Let's
know, but
go.
Greg, aren't you
Boy.
pre-missing? You hate Fridays.
I do hate Fridays, but
Yeah.
I'm in denial, and I try to, force it down.
But this is a big weekend for Greg, as we discussed. This is
Yeah.
the final time he'll be watching the 49ers in the Super Bowl with his dad.
He doesn't like when you say
Stop.
that.
So I know. No, you know what, Greg? Actually, I'm two things. Number one, I'm really excited for you. 'cause
Thank
I know,
you.
And number two, I'm proud of you. I like the fact that you booked a flight.
That's what
He's
I'm
getting
most
on an
worried.
airplane. Like,
Getting
Greg
on
to
a-
get on a plane is like, and a lot of people won't know this reference. There was a show back in the 80s called The A-Team with Mr. T. And Mr. T was this big, badass guy. Didn't pity no fool.
I pity
right?
the fool.
But to get this guy on a plane, they had to, like, trank him.
Right, they knocked him out, right?
Right? He's this big, tough guy.
Yeah.
And just to get him on a plane, they had to trank him. So, Greg, you're braver than Mr. T.
I am like a Navy SEAL, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Getting
just saw
on an
Mr. T
airplane.
on a news clip the other day.
Oh.
Because California has been getting inundated with rain,
Right.
and Mr. T showed up at the local place to get sandbags.
Oh, really?
No kidding.
Yeah, and which is great because he had cancer and he's had some health issues or whatever, but he looked good.
That's
Good
awesome.
to hear.
Mr. T making it happen.
Didn't he have
Yeah.
like mega financial problems?
I don't know.
I mean, all those
Probably.
gold chains, I'm sure
I
he's
don't
good.
know.
He can sell those off.
we had him on the show years ago, and he was super cool.
Yeah.
He was
Right.
he was a fun interview.
Yeah,
But
he seems like a
anyway,
cool guy.
Seabass is on assignment in Vegas for the Super Bowl. We're going to be checking in with him as we've been doing all this week. Yesterday, isn't that interesting? Cam Newton, of all the people, we were just having an argument about him the other day about, like, Cam Newton.
Right.
Yeah.
What do
You
you mean,
thought he
Cam
was
Newton?
humble and cool.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then we
yeah,
he was
then
awesome.
we heard the clips yesterday.
No, dude, I thought he was humble and cool right after he won the Heisman, and he was on the CBS NFL Today show.
Oh, okay. So revisionist history.
That's
I
not
didn't know it was revisionist history Friday.
What are you? Are you on drugs?
You're on drugs.
No, that was what I said. He became something completely opposite. That was the whole point of the story. The first time I ever heard or knew about Cam Newton was after he won the Heisman. I don't follow college football. I knew he won the Heisman. He was on the CBS NFL Today thing with Cower and all those guys. He was in a nice suit, not one of these clown suits that he wears now. Look at a nice clean-cut guy, was like super cool and super humble. And I'm like, wow, this guy seems pretty cool. And then he came into the league, and he did really well, as he did. And then all of a sudden, he like went off the deep end.
Okay.
And then he became like this total weirdo, like egomaniac, nut job that he is today.
Maybe
Sure.
we misheard it.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. Like, what happened to that guy was my point. Because he was like Theo Huxtable up
Yeah.
there on
'Cause-
that.
Yeah, he never was Theo Huxtable
Yeah,
ever.
the way
In that interview, he was. I wish I could find that interview so you guys could see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I look at the guy the way he is now, you would never believe it, as you don't.
that second part I guess we didn't hear that part. But the
Yeah.
first part we just said.
Because you closed your eardrums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah,
oh,
you started
he's-
Cam Newton. I said
we
one
thought,
thing.
We thought it was reversed. Like, oh,
No.
he's humbled now.
No. By the way, guys, look who's here. Mike the Show Killer. Talk about fail.
Oh, nice.
Get it, Jay.
Yeah.
Hey, what?
Oh,
What's the problem?
Hey, yo, what?
no problem.
Come on, Menace.
What's up? We miss you.
It's you.
Yeah. What's going on? Where's the vodka at? Let's go. It's the weekend.
It's not 10 o'clock here.
he had to drive his boyfriend to kindergarten.
Oh,
So.
all
right.
I
don't miss
Whoa.
this.
You gotta be
I don't miss
sober
this.
for that.
He had to make sure that he dropped him off first before the drinking started.
All right.
That Gymboree.
Yeah.
Why?
Yo, you why?
That's not true.
Why? All right. 87. Hi, Mike.
Hi.
877-44 Woody.
Love you.
Hit us hit us up with a text over to 22987. We will be checking in with Seabass, like I said, on assignment there in Vegas for the Super Bowl. But right now, it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for your Friday fail stories.
Jew.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time for your Friday fail story. All these people, they thought they had the perfect plan, the plan that could never go wrong. But then somewhere along the line, it went from being a great idea to one big stinking, mega, uber, ultra noise.
Wow, loved
Love
it.
it.
Yeah, not bad.
Very
Not
good.
bad. Not our best, but one of the better ones.
That was on point.
I thought it was
Yeah.
angelic.
All right, so starting this one, every year for Super Bowl week, a bunch of former NFL players flood the host city, go around doing interviews just like Seabass has been doing, right? And there's all this different media there covering the event. Earlier this week, Boomer Esiason and Greg Giannotti, who they do the morning show for the big sports talk station in New York City, WFAN, and they ran into a problem.
Uh-oh.
They thought they had booked former NFL wide receiver Randy Moss for an interview.
Okay.
But it turns out NBC Sports had actually booked them Randy Moss, the horse racing analyst.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, wow.
They didn't realize it until they were already on the air with the guy. It's like, this is not the Randy Moss that we want.
Dang, that's funny.
That just happened to me. I was talking about the Dan Levy thing.
Oh, right,
I was
yeah.
like, hey,
Big
I called up
mix-up.
Ravy and Greg, super excited. Hey, I think I'm going to bring in Dan Levy. And then it was
D.
actually...
Dan Levy from Schitt's Creek?
Yeah, but
Right.
it was Dan
No, it's-
Levy.
Some
Oh,
random.
It was some comic.
It was random.
No, he's
Dan.
good. You would like him, actually, Woody. He was the producer for the Goldbergs. And,
Oh, yeah?
he's really, really funny.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
As you know, it's Black History Month, and it's one of the big fail stories in the news this week, how Target had to pull the product off the shelves.
Oh,
A
yeah.
product meant to celebrate Black History Month.
It's like mislabeled or something.
Well, because it's a book of magnets for kids, and it includes these different civil
Yeah.
rights leaders like Booker T. Washington and whatever, but they put the wrong names on at least 3 of them. And this woman who's a teacher, she noticed the mistake after she bought the magnets. She was going to use them in her class, and she posted a video about it. Here she is.
So I want to get my kids this little magnet learning activity since Black History coming up from Target. I don't know who's in charge of Target, but these need to be pulled off the shelves like immediately. So I teach U.S. history. I study history, got my major in social studies, and I noticed some discrepancies like as soon as I open this. For starters, this is not Carter G. Woodson. They got the name wrong. This is not W.E.B. Du Bois. And then this is not Booker T. Washington. This is Carter Woodson. I get it. Mistakes happen. But this needs to be corrected ASAP.
How does that make
No,
it
no.
past like the first level of
Well-
double checking?
Yeah.
I'd consider where it was made.
Probably made in China.
Exactly. Probably by 10-year-olds.
I know who this is.
They don't know.
Yeah.
And I
Target's
mean,
already stopped
I'm
selling
sure
them.
Target's not, they just stock it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying Target made
Right.
it.
But I mean, think of where it was made.
You're saying not America.
That's
is
what I'm
you're
saying.
trying to say.
And by children.
Oh, yeah, you know that for sure. Like you always say, everything in Walmart is made in China.
Yep.
And you,
This is Booker T. Washington. No, it's not.
Exactly. That is my point.
How about this? This happened in Florida. A 49-year-old guy decided to take his truck for a spin on the beach. Now, this is despite the big old sign right there at the gate that very clearly read, "Do not enter." But he's like, F that.
Right.
I do what I want.
And just drove his super sweet white Dodge Ram, his pickup, right around
Ram.
that sign and into the water.
Uh-oh.
Witnesses saw him driving back and forth in the waves, trying to do donuts in the sand.
Yes.
The water that he was in was about 2 or 3 feet high. The cops were called. They eventually got him out, and on the dry land, his truck had to be towed out and off the beach. And when they questioned him, he told them, quote, "It's not my fault my truck don't surf."
All right.
Here, listen to this.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be driving on the beach when the gates are all closed. Can I get in trouble for that? Yeah. It's a misdemeanor at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Not my fault.
Can I get in
truck
trouble
don't
for that?
surf. Yeah, can I get in trouble
Yeah.
for that? Idiot.
As a
Yeah.
person who drives a truck, I get jealous at these commercials. You see them riding in the mountains and on
know.
beaches. Thinking, where can you do that? Nowhere.
Greg's having a hard time driving in the rain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I want to drive on the beach. That'd be fun.
Here's one about this guy in Canada. He was brainstorming some ideas on how to get more customers, for his drug business.
Oh.
Okay.
Advertising.
Well, that's exactly what he was thinking. And he eventually decided that he would just hand out business cards, and attached to the business card was a small sample of the primo cocaine that he was selling.
Smart.
Nice.
So he took his cards to the casino that was by his house. He just stood right out front,
Oh.
passed out the business cards with the free cocaine. And guess what, you guys?
Didn't go
What?
well.
The cops were there within 10 minutes.
Oh, no.
And it was all over.
Oh.
He was arrested, taken to fail jail on possession and trafficking of narcotics charges.
That's what they did in Griselda. They gave out free cocaine to
That's
everybody.
right.
But they weren't giving out phone numbers.
Gotta give out a taste, you know.
Yeah.
And here, I'll give you one more. My favorite story of the week over in London. There's this guy. His name is Richard Plaud. And he has spent the last 8 years piecing together matchsticks to make a model of the Eiffel Tower.
Okay.
Nice.
706,900 matchsticks, to be specific.
Good.
And he was looking to beat the record. The record is held by someone who made one that was just 2 feet tall, and his was 23.6 feet tall.
Nice.
Nice.
So Richard would have very easily beaten that record, except he got some bad news from the folks at the Guinness Book of World Records.
No.
They told him that he didn't qualify for the record because he used the wrong type of matches.
Oh.
8 years down the track.
What does that mean?
A match isn't a match?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess, because it's you gotta call Guinness, I guess, or
Yeah.
look up, But he said that the reason he didn't use the other matches is because they didn't have them in the quantities that he needed. I mean, he needed
Yeah, you need
706,000
Right.
of them.
Boatload, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Oh, no.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm looking
So-
at it. It still looks pretty cool.
I'm sure it looks cool. The whole reason he did it is because he wanted the record, and so now it's 8 years of his life down the drain.
Why can't he get a record with these matches? You know?
Probably just kill himself, right,
was it-
Greg?
No.
I mean, that's what I would.
I bet we should take it up to Guinness. That is
We
not cool.
should.
Yeah.
Not
anyway,
cool.
sure. Friday fail stories. We are going to check in with Seabass, see what he has for us this morning from the Super Bowl, which is a round of the DUIQ.
Nice.
So it's a Super Bowl edition of the DUIQ next year on the Woody Show. If you want to play, we got the phones open for you, 877-44-WOODY. Or you can send us a text over to 22987. DUIQ is next.
Keep your feet up on the dashboard. Back in a few. The Woody Show.